at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name.
Canto 16th chapter, continue there. And verse number 16. No, 8th verse. Translation: Krishna began sporting in Kalya's lake like a lordly elephant, swirling his mighty arms and making the water resound in various ways. When Kalya heard these sounds, he understood that somebody was trespassing in his lake. The serpent could not tolerate this and immediately came forward. Word for word. Tasya, of him, Hride, in his lake, Virata, who was plain, Bhuja Danda, by his mighty arms, Gurna, swirled about, Va, of the water, Goshan, the resounding, Anga, my dear king, Vara, Varana, like a great elephant, Viramsya, whose prowess, Asrutya, hearing, Tat, that, Sadhana, of his own residence, Adibi Bhavan, the trespassing, Nirkasya, taking note of, Ch16 Svaha, Kalya, Samsarat, came forward, Tat, that, Amshramana, being unable to tolerate. Okay? So when the Lord Krishna manifests in this material world, his potency, he either comes himself, see, because the true form of Krishna is Sat, Chit, and Ananda. And it's a vigraha. See, a vigraha you need some kind of container in this world for it to manifest. See, so the Lord manifests his forms, and they're Sat, Chit, and Ananda. They're these forms are eternal forms, even though they may have a physical body, but they're considered eternal forms because the spiritual body within that form is awakened and active. I want to get a spiritual name, so I'm going around looking for the sadhu, going here and going there. Oh boy. See, you're looking for the name. How about a better thing is to look for the bhakti, man. Here you get the bhakti. The name is all over the place. You can give yourself an own name, but you come here, you'll get the bhakti, and then you'll chant any name of God or the one you really cherish, and you'll become ecstatic, and now your life is successful, and you'll deliver all your family members this way and that way in many generations, and you'll deliver so many people in this world. That's what you can get here. And you're thinking about just a name, have a name? Hey, why not get the bhakti? That's more intelligent. Okay? Go for the bhakti. Don't worry. The names are all over the place. Krishna, you got access to Krishna's name, but what you need is access to the devotion, the bhakti. That's what you get here. That's what you get in disciplic line. You get bhakti a lot of bees. You can go out and get any guru out there, or some of them, many will just give you a name, so you're out there working for them. But they can't give you this bhakti. This devotion is available here. It's a very rare place. Because here you get the bhakti, and then you got the name, man. You got just Krishna's name. You chant it in ecstasy. You won't be worried. Wow, name me Krishna. You just automatically Krishna Das. You're a real Das, man. A real servant of the Lord. You won't be concerned about anything other than being a Das, man. Just the servant of the Lord, and keep those feet on your head. And everything goes, man. You start liberating people, man, liberating, your family members, everybody just, is blessed by this potency of bhakti, devotion. And then the names are all over the place, man. Just pick up the name Krishna, Lord Chaitanya, Jesus Christ, even whatever name, holy name. See, they're all holy. They're all holy names because they're devotees. They're either devotees of the Lord. Pick up Haridas's name, Krishnadas Kaviraj, Prabhupada's name. They're holy, man. Chant their names, man, in ecstasy. They're there, and you'll be able to do it because you got bhakti, man. You got devotion, and that's awakened, and it only awakens being with the real devotee. Not just people giving out names, man. We're giving out bhakti, man. And then the names are already there and they become activated with that bhakti, man. Just like you want to color your hair, if you had any, and then very little. Say I had a whole head of hair here, I want to color it blonde, man. You get the blonde stuff and you get the activator, man. You put it together and then you got color now. Same thing, man. You get the name of Krishna and you get the bhakti and you put them together and boom, you got self-realization. Boom, you've just busted the cycle of birth and death. That's what we do here. Boom, busting ignorance, man. Everything is finished. Are you ready for that, Paulina? Does that make any sense to you yet? If it doesn't, well, stick around. Keep hearing. Keep listening. Go for the Bhakti name, exactly. Go for Bhakti Devi. That's what we're giving out here. Names are already been given. There are plenty of names out there. Names of Krishna. See, then your name will be in the book of life. That's what you want. You want your name in there, you know? Yeah. Okay, next. Oops. Yeah. So Kalya saw Krishna, who wore yellow silken garments, was very delicate. His attractive body shining like a glowing cloud. Like a glowing white cloud. His chest bearing the mark of Srivas, and his face smiling beautifully, and his feet resembling the whorl of a lotus. The Lord was playing fearlessly in the water. Despite his wonderful appearance, the envious Kalya furiously bit him on the chest and completely enwrapped him in his coils. Enwrapped him in his coils. Okay? So that's what the spiritual potency, Maya does to the spiritual potency, wants to bite it. Wants to bite it in this world. Okay? So, tam him prikasyanta sanya, attractive to look at. Sukamara, most delicate. Gana, like a cloud. Avidatam, glowing white. See, glowing white, it's like purity, man. And like a cloud. This is bhakti, man. It's like a cloud. See, that's why they call it the Holy Ghost. In the Christian circles, they knew it as kind of like a spirit, man. It's very subtle, but it's like a transcendental cloud. Hey, this is the Lord's shelter. This is bhakti. It's like a cloud like this, and it's white, very pure. Not material white, but it's glowing. It's white, and it's glowing. It actually glows, and only the devotees can actually see it. It's a great mystery to those who are not awakened. They're covered by the Maya, and they can't see this manifestation of the Lord. So that could be in the devotee or Krishna himself. wearing the Srivast mark, pita, and yellow vasam garments, smita, smiling. Okay? Sundara, beautiful. See, beautiful smiling. Okay? Ashyam, whose face, kritatam, plain, aprata, bayam, without fear of others. So that's what he was doing. See, the devotees engage in devotional service without fear of others. They don't. They're not people pleasing. They're not afraid of excommunication because they've attained the Lord of their hearts. Okay? So they know, it's just they have that kind of security. See, without fear of others. If you're still afraid of others, what people will think and all that stuff, you haven't attained the mercy of the Lord yet. Okay? When you have the mercy of the Lord, it's like, fear goes. Of the lotus, udara, like the inside, agrihim, whose feet, sadasya, biting. I'm not quite interested into this here. Let's go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Adi Lila. I'll go to chapter 3 of Adi Lila here. The external reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Translation. This is Adi Lila chapter 3. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By the potency of the shelter of his feet, even a fool can collect the valuable jewels of conclusive truth and from the minds of the revealed scriptures. See, by the potency of the shelter of his lotus feet. See? So the potency of the shelter. When you have the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, that potency, that's bhakti. See? That's what reveals the understanding, the real knowledge. Okay? Is that potency of bhakti is the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. It's like in the Krishna Kanamrita, Bivalmangal Thakur said, Radharani enjoys the shelter of being an eternal consort of the Supreme Lord. She enjoys the shelter of that. The shelter of that is her love for Krishna, that bond, that emotional bond. See, so that's devotee. See, the whole point of doing Vaidhi Bhakti or coming to Prabhupada or any of the gurus that are representing Krishna consciousness now is to become deeply attached to the transcendental form of the Lord. But to do that, you need bhakti. And you can get that easily without a lot of troubles, just from a devotee who has this bhakti, who worships the Lord under the shelter of his lotus feet. They are proven to have the actual shelter of the Lord's lotus feet because they have devotion, because they cry for Krishna. They laugh in relationship to the Lord. In their chanting, in their hearing, they relish these devotional mellows. They have the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. See, therefore, because they have the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, then they can collect the valuable jewels, and that's what we're doing right here. These are valuable jewels. Right here, you're seeing the collection of valuable jewels and the distribution of valuable jewels. So Jesus taught this principle. He said, only the Father knows the Son, and the Son knows the Father, and the Son can reveal the true nature of the Father to whom he chooses. See, that's what we're doing here. Collecting these valuable jewels because we're demonstrating that the shelter of the Lord is here. We're giving that shelter to others who believe in this preaching, believe in what we're doing, believe the order of Prabhupada and the disciplic line is here, that we're representing the disciplic line. Okay? So you're getting that shelter, man. You're believing, you're letting these words, you believe that, yeah, man, this is, this person is collecting these the valuable jewels of conclusive truth, and we're every day proving on the basis of these revealed scriptures. This is conclusive truth. Look at this truth and look at that truth. Why do I say, well, look over there and look over here. Look over there, look over here. That's Bhagavatam. You got a devotee Bhagavat does that. Devotee Bhagavat does that. Just like the Bhagavatam is doing that also. Okay? It just doesn't go one way and just tell you just conclusive truth. It distinguishes it from illusion for the welfare of the world, because we learn by relationship. See the transcendental potency related to the illusion. See, now I learned something. Now, okay, that let me take shelter there, and I've already know what the shelter of this illusory potency is. That's not very good, is it? Boy, it's a pain in the butt, man. Boy, it's all it did was mislead me into more and more incarnations, sometimes as a bird, sometimes as an insect, sometimes as a human being, sometimes as a demigod, sometimes as a demon, back and forth and up and down from the shelter of that illusory potency. Boy, I didn't even know there was actually a spiritual potency I could take shelter of. Yeah, that's bona fide guru is going to teach you how to do that. See? And if you haven't learned how to really get the shelter quickly, that's what we're here to teach. You'll learn, you'll know why this person is crying for Krishna and Johan and Lalita and River and whoever else is getting the shelter of the Lord. That's proof that they're getting the shelter of the Lord. And that's proof that they love these scriptures now. 40 years of Vaidhi Bhakti. This is where it's going, man, because now they're understanding the books. Why? Because they're getting the shelter of Bhakti. Devotion. Well, they're getting Krishna's shelter of conclusive truth that are in the minds of these revealed scriptures because they got Bhakti Lata Bij, man. They got attachment and devotion developing for the Lord. See, this, what I'm preaching now and speaking now is based on these scriptures right here. See? If you've been following some teachers or gurus and you don't know about crying for Krishna, hey man, are you ready for this? Because this is what you're going to learn. You're going to know what the shelter of the Lord is, having the shelter of the Lord is. If you have it, you're going to have real ecstatic bhakti. You're going to cry for Krishna when you chant his name and his pastimes. You're going to have great deep revelation as knowledge, real knowledge, see? In line with the revealed scriptures. Conclusive. And you're going to deliver that conclusive knowledge to others and bust their ignorance. Bust all these Vaidhi Bhakti's ignorance, man. Thinking that Varnashram Dharma is the ultimate destination. That's ignorant. You're ignorant, man. We're here to bust that with the truth. Yeah, I got to know where Krishna consciousness is going. It's going, to get this shelter of Lord Chaitanya's feet. And if you don't have the shelter of Lord Chaitanya's feet, that means you're not crying for Krishna. You don't know these deep confidential things. You got to go to a devotee who does. A devotee who is empowered by the disciplic line to learn this. Otherwise, you'll never learn this. You'll go for many, many incarnations and not learn what you learned here, even in one video. That's how deep this stuff is. So I offer my wonderful, I love this verse. I offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the potency of the shelter of his lotus feet. See, that potency is bhakti, man. With bhakti, you get the shelter of the lotus feet. Now you're not just worshiping Krishna. In name only. Hare Krishna, no tears. No, when the tears start to come, you're getting the shelter now, finally, of Krishna's lotus feet. You're starting to learn what that is. You're starting to learn, this is the way to worship God. Man, is this more happiness in this? Ask Janaki if she wants to go back. Ask Yohan if he wants to go back to just dry chanting with no tears. Ask anybody here that's getting tears. Ask, ask them. Hey, you want to go back to your Vaidhi Bhakti practices? They say, of course not, man. This is the upgrade. See, by the potency of the shelter of his lotus feet, of Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet, even a fool can collect the valuable jewels. See, you don't have to be anything special. Okay? A person that's a sannyasi in the ISKCON or anywhere else, if you haven't gotten the potency of the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, in other words, when you chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and these pastimes, and you don't feel intimate relationship with the Lord, so much so that your voice chokes up and you cry and you call out to the Lord, if that's not happening, you don't have the shelter of the Lord yet. You don't have the shelter because you don't have this potency. So if you're a big sannyasi, you got to come to the devotee who has that, even if they're a Sudra, whatever they are. If they have the shelter of the Lord, they have Bhakti Lata Bij, man, and they relish the Hare Krishna mantra in ecstasy, even if they're a donkey, a big sannyasi who doesn't have this shelter of the Lord's feet, that doesn't cry for Krishna and laugh like a madman and all this thing, they have to come to get it wherever it is. Otherwise, they don't get it. If they're too proud, just keep your pride. But that's how you get it. See, no thanks, never again. They don't want to go back. That's how attractive this level of bhakti is. Yeah, that's proof in itself that this is better. So even a fool, see? So the question should be, well, how do I get the shelter of that potency, that Bhakti Lata Bij? How do I get it? Yeah, people have been doing bhakti yoga for like 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Still haven't got it yet. So you come here, we'll teach you how to get it. If you've been following these gurus or even Prabhupada through his books and everything, and after 40 years still haven't got it, well, if you come here, teach you how to get it easy, without a lot of troubles. Teach you, prove it right there in the book, because we got the map book and we accurately, we accurately assess the map and directly send people to Krishna, to the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, direct. Yeah, there you go, Francis. Great. See, so whether you're a sannyasi or a fool, actually, a sannyasi is a fool if they don't come to where bhakti is. And a fool is very intelligent if they become intelligent simply by coming to the shelter of a devotee. Because in chapter 1, it tells you how to get the shelter of Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet. It's not directly. That'll take you a long time. You may or may not attain it. Yeah, but for sure you'll attain it if you follow chapter 1 of Adi Leela, which is you find someday in some lifetime a bona fide spiritual master who teaches you these confidential truths. Okay? It's not just Hari Nam and Hari Krishna, Hari Krishna. Yeah, Hari Nam and Hari Krishna when you get the potency of this. Now that's intelligent. See? It's like saying, okay, well, no, Hari Nam is the way, Hari Nam is the way. Okay, yeah, okay, but what's more clearly, what's a better way? Because what's the result of you doing Hari Nam without having the shelter of those lotus feet? And you might say, yeah, I have the shelter, I'm chanting Hari Nam, you have the shelter. Well, do you really have the deep shelter? No, not yet, unless you have ecstatic devotion. See? That's why Lord Chaitanya, he told people he met, he said, go to Vrindavan. See, Vrindavan was, he sent Rupa and Sanatan. You go to Vrindavan, you would meet them. See? He said, go to Vrindavan and just chant the holy name, and then very soon you'll attain the shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. But Rupa was there, and Sanatans go there, and Krishna, other devotees were there. He sent there, the Goswamis. So you go there and you chant under that shelter. Very quickly you get the shelter. See, the shelter is this bhakti, man. See, this gives you the shelter. It gives you Krishna. It's very attractive to Krishna. Krishna is only attracted to pure love. Pure love is this bhakti lata bij. See, when you get that, now you chant. See, now you do whatever austerities you do, like chanting and hearing, like that. It's considered an austerity, but it's not an austerity to a devotee who has the potency. They like to do it. They like to hear about Krishna, talk about Krishna, discuss Krishna, relish Krishna's name. There are all these varieties of mellows. They like to do it. See? Even a fool can collect these valuable jewels. Shows you, don't have to be anything special. Just come here and understand what we're talking about, which is very easy. All you have to do is come and just lend your ear, lend an ear, man. Listen. How you listen. Don't listen like, well, I know everything about, I'm really smart and all that. Well, that's not very smart. Come here to listen, to learn, to understand. And start emptying out that I know everything about bhakti. Because unless you have the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, you don't know much at all. Unless you have this real bhakti and you laugh, you cry, you choke with the voice, then you don't know that much yet. Prabhupada said, I am the elevator. I can take you straight to the spiritual sky. Exactly. The pure devotee does. But who is ready? See? So that's the real guru. But who is ready to go straight to the spiritual sky? See? Most aren't. They need Shiksha Guru. See? So yeah. If you stay with Prabhupada and you're sincerely worshiping him and you still haven't made it to ecstatic love, well, if you really want to make it, you'll realize the value of Shiksha Guru and take their association and then go. Yeah. Prabhupada is the way because he's a pure devotee. But it's just like saying, yeah, Moses, he was also the way. He was an intimate servant of the Lord, man. He went up to the mountain, his hair turned white. He had an intimate thing. But people didn't go to the spiritual world yet because they needed to meet Jesus, who did the finishing work. See, where they got the spirit. You got to get the spirit of devotion, man. If you didn't get it with Prabhupada, you need Shiksha. That's why people are coming here. That's why Johan and Janaki and Meena are coming here. Because they want this ecstatic devotion. They know how important it is. They didn't just get it from being around Prabhupada. They want this bhakti. They want this prem. All you have to do is come and listen and learn. Because that's our mission, man. That's Prabhupada ordered me to do this. Otherwise, devotees who don't believe this and don't come to the point of believing it, just by, seeing that we logically present everything here, very scientifically, very logically, books are the basis of everything we're doing. And you wonder, well, I'm just going to do it my way. I think I'm just going to develop it, So anyway, we're here to finish the work that Prabhupada started, that Bhaktisiddhanta started, that Bhakti Vinod started. You see, progressing to what? Progressing to this. Okay? Then, once this is awakened in you, and now you can water this creeper by chanting in ecstasy. Man, how would you like to do that? What a concept. Chant the holy name in ecstasy and feel that white lotus of great fortune, expanding. And not have to worry about, in Shastastika, I chant the holy name and he's acting like a conditioned soul. I chant the holy name, but I don't achieve attachment for the Lord. Well, we're here to get you attached and hitched up to the Lord so you can taste that mantra, man. Relish it more and more and more and more and more and more and more every day. That's what it's about, man. Taste. See, Krishna is more attractive, man. This level of Krishna consciousness finishes it, man. What more do you need, man? You get Krishna, you get the potency of the shelter, the potency is Bhakti Lata Bij, man, and you just keep watering it. What else do you need to do? What other path do you need? What other opulence do you need? You know, this is attractive to the person. He's the golden goose, man. For all gold comes from Krishna, man. All wealth comes from Krishna. All wonderful qualities come from Krishna. You get the golden goose, man, when you get this bhakti. And that's what we're dishing out here, man. That's what we're distributing. That's why if people are not ready for it, they it's like people, you got fool's gold. Look how shiny it is. Those shiny dhotis out there. Oh, look how shiny that dhoti is, man. Man, he's shining. That guy's a pure devotee, man. Look at all the verses he can quote. Ah, shine, shine, shine. See? But here, you get the real substance. See, the real gold is here. The real gold is not the fool's gold. That's for fools. If you're still a fool, that means you become a guru without being qualified. That's foolish, man. You become a worshipped guru without being qualified. No, you're going to get nothing but a big false ego from that. I don't care how humble you appear. That's foolish. And it's foolish to follow those persons. Well, what to do? This is the Maya. People have been doing that for a long time. That's the first stage. Beginners. That's the blind following the blind. See, blind guides. See, they're being guided. You just, unless you are a representative of the Supreme Lord, and you distribute this transcendental potency to others, and people listen to you and get purified by the words that you're speaking, like the songbook says, and you can see ecstatic prema is emanating from that guru, and they're not caring about, well, what is this guy going to think? What is Gaudi Samiti? Well, they say I shouldn't be doing this, so I shouldn't do it because I want to be a people pleaser. Well, hey, man, I'm here to please God. I'm here to please Prabhupada. Please the disciplic line is now, hey, man, let out all stops, man. Teach the confidential purport in these postgraduate books. And it's not even a fool can come here and collect the value. We present everything even for the layman. It's the sannyasis who will have the hardest time because of being worshipped so much usually. Even a fool can collect the valuable jewels. So basically, a fool that comes here admits, I'm just a fool, man. And the others a little harder because they can't admit they're foolish because of the false ego. Oh, but me, I'm also like you. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove that you've got the order, the parampara. Prove it. Prove that you can awaken bhakti and fit these verses. Yes, it is correct. Those who awaken devotion to Krishna are certainly the spiritual master. Prove that you fit those verses, man. Yes, by the action of the book Bhagavat and the devotee Bhagavat absorbed in the mellows of devotion, those mellows are instilled in the heart of their disciples. Prove that you're like that. Prove it. Prove that you are a devotee Bhagavat that fits the book Bhagavat, that does what the book Bhagavat says, regardless of whether you follow external rules or not. Okay? Prove it. Okay? Most can't. Yeah, I love this verse. It's so nice. This is worthy for the word for word also, because we're going to do this. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. Yat, of whom? Pada Asraya, of the shelter of the lotus feet. Vrijata, from the power. See, from the power of the shelter. See, now what is Radharani known as? See, this is a hint. From the power. Radharani is considered the power. Bhakti is considered the power. See, it's the power to subdue Krishna. Isn't it? Power means you have some power, you have some ability, man, some potency. Okay? So Krishna is only subdued by one potency, one power, and that's Bhakti. That's pure love of God. Subdues even the Supreme Lord. See, from the power, see, of the shelter. See, that's shelter. See, you got the shelter now because you got Bhakti, man. This gives you the shelter. Krishna's right there sheltering you now because you have Bhakti. See? It's the same thing. So Raghunath Das is a good example of that and a wonderful pastime, man. He's sitting on the bank of Radha Kund, man, chanting Radhe, 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 see? And it wasn't Krishna for him. His Radharani is his mistress. This is his deity, really. And Krishna comes along with it, of course. So he's chanting, oh mistress, oh Radhe, oh Radhe. And Radharani comes and puts her shawl over him. To shield him from the hot sun, because he was actually just living outdoors, man. And the hot sun, he's doing bhajan, and they're just calling out sincerely. And Radharani herself comes and puts her shawl over his head. See, from the power, what? The power, how did he get, what power does he have? To get Radharani to personally put her shawl over and protect him. What power does he have? Pure love, man. Really wonderful, pure love. Okay? The power to draw Radharani. She's not going to just come in unless you have the power to draw her, man. He's a devotee. That was his deity, man. It's Radharani, man. Radha Das. See, so from the power, see, Sangri Nati collects. See, this gives you the power to collect. Okay, to collect. You know, collection. Okay, so otherwise you have no power to collect. Without devotion, you can't collect the conclusive truth, and this is the problem. Without the power of devotion, you can't collect it, and whatever you distribute isn't the real name, isn't the real scriptures. That's why they got a checklist there. Oh, well, this is your guru, man. This is your deliverer, man. They got to just fit the checklist, but they can't collect the real conclusive truth from the revealed scriptures. Said, oh no, the real guru the checklist is already in the book. You don't have to create something artificial. The checklist is in the book, man. The valuable jewel. The valuable jewel is the guru, man, who has the shelter, the lotus feet of the Lord, that has drawn the Lord, man, has ecstatic devotion. See, that's conclusive truth. Collect the value. See, the real guru collects that valuable conclusive truth and distributes it to his disciples and busts their ignorance. Busts the ignorance whoever will listen to them. Oh, really? Don't go to those who don't have the sheltered lotus feet of the Lord. Oh, what a concept. Oh, I never knew that before. Oh, that checklist isn't the real standard. Yeah, it's not. The book is right in the book, man. See, the conclusive, they're saying, oh yeah, we're going into the scriptures and we came up with this checklist, and then you look at the checklist and it's not even in the book. Hey, what is going on here, man? How about we just, because of the power and the strength of bhakti, man, we collect the valuable jewels of the conclusive truth in these scriptures of Prabhupada's books and the Goswami books, extract that, and put it out there as the checklist that agrees with the book. Now, isn't that a better path? Isn't that a more clear path? Isn't that going to get you to the destination of Vrindavan quicker than getting something that's not even in the friggin' book? Some external standard, some material level of standard, man. Well, the guru, he studies really good. Oh, he's followed the program really good. He's chanted his 16 rounds really good. See, nothing that is actually in the book. It's just that, this is what we've extracted, man. Okay? So only with this bhakti can you extract the valuable jewels in this book and give them out to your disciples and students who value those jewels, or those words. Those words are the jewels. That's God. You get a conclusive understanding of God, the Father, the friend, the beloved, from the real Guru. Conclusive. See? Solid. Case closed. Or your case before the Lord is open now. See? And Krishna jumps out of that case. See, from the power collects, akara vrata, from the multitude of minds of the form, in the form of the scriptures. See, there are so many minds here in these scriptures. And a devotee that has real bhakti devotion can just collect these things. The multitude of minds, man. There's all these. There's Guru Tattva there. There's Rasa Tattva. There's Maya Tattva. Valuable jewels to understand the ignorance and how to stay away from it. Okay. Various scriptures, various deities. You got Lord Chaitanya's Leela. You got Krishna Leela. See, these are all minds, valuable jewels. You got this devotee writing, their writings, valuable jewels. In the multitude of minds of Rupa Goswami's work, Vishwanath Chakravarti's work, all authorized devotees, Krishnadas Kaviraj, Raghunath Das, these are all valuable minds. Okay? You become qualified to extract there. Not just given, proof that it is, Prabhupada was just teaching beginners. He said, don't go into this mine here, Chaitanya Charitamrita, that's postgraduate. Don't go to the Goswami literature, that's postgraduate. Okay? Just try to understand my books, just here you go, read 2 hours a day, and follow the rules. And by you'll understand because somebody will come and help you. Otherwise, you've got a longer road. Multitude of minds in the revealed scriptures. Oh, that's beautiful. Ajna, a fool. Siddhanta, of conclusion. See, proper conclusion. Conclusive Siddhanta. See, like Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Vedanta. Bhakti Siddhanta, Bhakti Vedanta. You know how many sannyasis probably don't even know what their name means, really? You know how many Bhakti Vedantas that don't probably know what their name means really clearly? Or Bhakti Siddhanta? Well, there's only one that we know. He knows. Okay? So in other words, see, Bhakti Vedanta. See, Vedanta that comes from Bhakti. Vedanta that comes from ecstatic devotion. Vedanta that comes from the devotee who has real bhakti, and they can collect the valuable jewels. This is the real Vedanta, real knowledge, real understanding of these Vedas. See, you need to find a real Bhakti Vedanta, man. A real Bhakti Vedanta. Doesn't have to have a stick, just has to have the Vedanta. And if they have the real Vedanta, they have the real Bhakti. That's what you got to find. That's their stick. That's how they punish Kali. That's how they wake people up, is with that stick of truth, man, that comes from the real Vedanta, that comes from their bhakti, man. You'll see both, man. Out of the mouth comes real Vedanta, real conclusive understanding of Krishna, because they have real bhakti. You see that emanate from them. See? Now, that's Guru. That's where you go to listen. It's not enough to be a Bhakti Vedanta in name only. You can't lead people very well. He's a Bhakti Vedanta. Don't I see a stick? Well, that's external. No, the real stick is the stick of truth. Okay? And to get beaten with it sometimes is good also. Yeah. Yeah. So, a fool, Siddhanta of conclusion. See? Conclusive conclusion. Satmani, the best jewels. See, the best jewels. And this is devotees. They consider jewels. They consider the jewels is this conclusive understanding. This makes devotees ecstatic to chant these verses in ecstasy. To chant the conclusive in a conclusive way, chanting Hare Krishna. Conclusive way is to chant the holy name in ecstasy. That's conclusive. See? And then the purports come for how wonderful that name is, because the devotee has bhakti. Can you imagine? In Vaishnavism, they don't even know that the real devotee, the real associate of the Lord, the real bona fide guru is somebody who chants the holy name in ecstasy. What a great secret that is so friggin' obvious, man. That's what I'm just a guy, a little child saying, man, don't you see the emperor has no friggin' clothes? Can't you see it? It's as obvious, man. Bhakti Vedanta that comes from devotion, from real pure bhakti, man. Let me listen to a person who has the right understanding, the real conclusions, that collects the real conclusive truth, the valuable jewels from the gold mines of these scriptures. Let me get in that association. Let me make my house there. Let me make my permanent residence around such devotees. Let me collect those jewels by hearing from them. And get some juiced up that I can also collect. I become a collector also. That is a fast track to the Goloka Vrindavan. Even in this life, you'll get it. The best jewels. I love that. All glories to Lord Chaitanya. Next verse. All glories to Lord. We milked that one good, huh? I just love that verse. It's such a jewel, man. Such everything. Thank you, Krishna Das Kaviraj, for this. This is poetic perfection. Nobody but a pure devotee can write poetry like these things. Especially this poet is amazing. All glories to Lord Chaitanya, and all glories to Lord Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. I have given the proper purport of the third verse. Now, O devotees, please listen to the meaning of the fourth with full attention. May that Lord who is known as the son of Sachi Devi, May that Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost core of your heart. See, transcendently situated. Situated, man. See, but usually people, it's not awakened. That Lord is not situated in the heart yet. You've got to be situated. He's there, but we're not aware of his situation. See? So you got to be informed of the Lord's situation. You know, where he is, how to awaken that awareness of that Lord who is situated there. How to become aware of that. Transcendental. See, he's transcendentally situated. So only the devotees who know that, who the Lord is transcendently situated in their hearts, in awareness, man. See? So that blessing comes from them and their association. In the innermost core of your heart. And that's where the Lord is. See? The Lord is in the innermost core of our hearts, but most people are not aware of it. So therefore you need the activator. That's the devotee where the Lord is in a mature, activated state. Activated enough. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has descended in this age of Kali. By his causeless mercy. See, molten. You know, when you molten gold is molten. It's molten. Molten it's dripping. It's running, man. Molten gold. This is this love, man. It's gold. This bhakti is gold. He came to deliver this potency, to distribute this molten gold. He melts the heart. Okay? Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has descended in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy. See? Causeless mercy. He didn't have to come. He came because he wanted to. See? And his desire was, yeah, I'll come down there. Why not? I want to relish this. I want to taste this bhakti. I want to chant with a body, man. I want to chant and relish these devotional mellows and laugh and cry and taste mellows. I want to taste what Radharani was tasting. See, so his causeless mercy, just because of his desire, he just came here, man, to taste this bhakti. And his secondary thing was, this is a great thing. I just taste this bhakti, and because I'm not going to do it just out there alone in a cave somewhere, I want to distribute this to whoever who will want this. Yeah. See, so these two reasons. By his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before. See? So no incarnation has offered this conjugal love, this ecstatic devotion in one of the four rasas, especially the conjugal. Nobody has offered that before, but he wanted to. See? But only he could offer it, or Madhavinda Puri could offer it. The Madhavinda Puri had the symptoms of this kind of love of God. Lord Chaitanya chanted in ecstasy, so did Madhavinda Puri. Madhavinda Puri, even before Lord Chaitanya could distribute it, because he had this bhakti, man. He worshipped the Lord in ecstatic love and could lead people properly and quickly to this kingdom of devotion, to the kingdom of the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Ishvara Puri was one. See, and where did Lord Chaitanya go? He went to Ishvara Puri. He didn't go to Ramachandra Puri, who didn't get that blessing, because he was competitive with his guru and he wanted to instruct his guru. People, believe it or not, want to do that sometimes. Most Vaishnavas will say, oh no, I really don't want to do that. I really don't know. I want to just learn from my guru. I don't want to do that. But their gurus are doing it. So therefore they do it too, because when a real devotee here, a real representative of the Lord is here, the guru wants to instruct them, and so their devotees also want to instruct them. That's the real guru, because they're not real. They're not a real devotee, either guru or disciple, until real bhakti begins to manifest. Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Sri Krishna Samhita. Till devotion, pure love of God awakens in the heart, one is not yet a real devotee. One is becoming a real devotee when real bhakti begins to awaken in the heart. Pure bhakti. Okay? If that has not happened in a guru or their follower yet, they are not yet a real devotee. That's the birds and the bees. You're just a devotee in name only, and that's okay, Krishna wants to help, but still you got to know the facts. This is the problem. People don't know the facts. They think everybody is a devotee. It's all the same. Okay? And the real devotee is not a real devotee. Why? Because they cry for Krishna. Why are you crying for Krishna? That was Ramachandra's beef with his guru, Madhavinda Puri. Why are you crying? Why are you crying? See, this is the problem. You want to get over the Ramachandra Puri obstacle, even with his gurus. Why are you crying if you're absorbed in bliss? See, this is what people say, well, why are you crying? See, well, if you'll listen to the answer, that's great. See? He didn't. He just went on his way. Well, I don't know. He shouldn't be crying. If you listen, crying is good. I see. Okay, thank you. Okay, now you're making progress. That was his thing. Why are you crying, Gurudev? See, but the Ishvara Puri, who was the guru of Lord Chaitanya, he liked the crying. He started crying himself when he chanted Krishna's name because he served his guru sincerely. He accepted his guru. See? That's why Prabhupada hid it and Bhaktisiddhanta hid it, because their disciples wouldn't accept. How do we know? Well, they don't accept here. Now it's still not ready to accept. That's why they hid it. Okay? But those who are accepting, look what's going on with them. Now they're getting real bhakti simply because they're accepting real bhakti. Because that's what we're distributing. I'm not holding back here. No, it's time. That time is over. Yeah, that time is over, man. We're here to teach this ecstatic devotion to whoever wants to learn it, whoever wants to make friends with my friends. I have a lot of friends now in this group here. Anybody you want? The truth is, you don't get an opportunity to make friends with the kind of caliber of friends that we have here in this sangha. It's a very rare thing. Ecstatic devotees, are you kidding? They're very rare. That's like it's 100 times better than going into the circle of the rich and famous. 1,000 times better, 1,000,000 times better to make friends with these devotees than go into those circles of the rich and famous and get in there. Because those are in this circle, they would never trade what they got to go into those circles. What is that? That's nothing. Insignificant. See, that's the kind of value we deal with here. Anybody interested yet? Yeah? Lord Chaitanya said, Maharaj Pratapuruja, you're giving me valuable jewels. By quoting these verses, this is what I consider jewels. This is Lord. Jewels come out of the Lord. Jewels, all these amazing beauties and perfections come out of the Lord. And the Lord says, I don't consider that anything. That's all insignificant. What I consider jewels are conclusive verses and truths. To me, these conclusions that, and you know what that conclusion is? Let me show you what jewels are out there. That conclusion was 10th canto, and paraphrased, of course, 10th canto, he says, the pastimes of Krishna. Those who hear the pastimes of Krishna, it eradicates all sinful reaction. See, this is a jewel. The pastimes of Krishna eradicate all sinful reaction. Yet there's a qualification, not just any serpent, using these will eradicate a person that is not the quality of pure love. No, these pastimes are transmitted by great personalities, and a great personality is one who has achieved the shelter of the Lord. You listen to these jewel-like conclusions, man, and you find the real path quickly back to Godhead. I thought I can get rid of sin by doing this rule, that rule. No, that's a slow path, man. No, the quick path is you find a great personality whose greatness is simply because they have the power of the Lord in them. They have the real bhakti manifested in their heart, man. And you hear the truth about Krishna from their mouth, man. And there you found the kingdom of God. It's the way, it's the truth, and the life is the devotee like that. Always been the way and always will be the way. Those who have bhakti can distribute and awaken bhakti in others. See? And how much value do they have is in the rest of the verse. Yes, and those who are like that, those who distribute these pastimes all over the world, are the greatest welfare workers, because liberating the soul from this illusion, man, is the greatest welfare work. To be a soul winner, man. That's what we're doing here. Collecting valuable jewels and playing with our jewelry, wearing our jewelry right here before the public to show the people here in this Sangha are wealthy persons. And distributing that, because simply by playing with our wealth publicly here, people get the jewels. That's how we distribute. That's how our Lord distributed. He came to teach us how to relish and distribute this bhakti, and we follow in his footsteps and do the same thing. So, to bestow, unata, elevated, ujvalam, rasam, the conjugal mellow. See, the rasam, the rasa of the conjugal mellow. Or it says also that he came to distribute all the mellows, because everybody is different. They might be a servant of Krishna, or a intimate friend of Krishna, servant, or a maintainer of the Lord, or the conjugal level. So whatever, just by associating with Lord Chaitanya and his devotees, it can awaken our natural ras with the Lord. Okay? And then all is really well forever. See, conjugal mellow, sva bhakti, of his own service. See, his own service. See, his own service is being like a maidservant, serving the Lord with loving ecstasy, tasting these mellows. The treasure. See, this is a treasure. This bhakti is a treasure, man. It's the greatest treasure. It's the pearl of great price, Jesus. See, he used it. This is treasure. Pearls are wealth. See, real wealth. Yeah. So the great treasure is this bhakti. It's the great treasure, the greatest treasure. There's no treasure better than this. It's the only treasure that the Lord himself considers treasure. Who was the devotee who had the Kaustubha jewel? Oops. And threw it in the trash. What is a Kaustubha jewel? Because if it's a wealth jewel, then threw it in. If it's a wealth jewel, then that was probably Rupa or Sanatan in that pastime. They threw it in the ditch. Because they had the wealth of bhakti, man. They didn't consider that really. The main thing is to understand it's insignificant to a devotee. Yeah. Treasure, the Supreme Lord. Let's see. His own service, the treasure. Hari, the Supreme Lord. See, actually the treasure is the Supreme Lord himself. See? The intimate relationship with the Lord is the treasure, man. See? That intimacy. See, and association on the effective stage where you chant the holy name and you feel the Lord's association, and it just naturally stimulates, mellows in that association, and so that devotee in that stage. See? That's the kind of association you need if you also want to collect these valuable jewels of the revealed scriptures. Supreme Lord, Purata, then gold. See, it's better than gold. It's 1,000,000 times better than gold is the mellows of devotion. This is the greatest opulence of the Lord. The greatest treasure is the ability to relish devotional mellows. And that's why Lord Chaitanya came here, was to relish and teach. And that's why any real devotee that is distributing this love of God will be doing the same thing. They'll be relishing and teaching by that relishing. Otherwise, you're not getting. It's not coming in that incarnation for you or the world until there's a devotee here doing what Lord Chaitanya did. He tasted this bhakti in front of the world and distributed it like that. He relished in ecstasy, chanting the holy name. Okay? And his devotees did also, and also distributed, became distributors. Just like here, we're making distributors. They're all getting trained up by this association. Yeah, and people are contacting them, and they're getting the ability to wake them up also. More beautiful of the splendor with a multitude illuminated. See, multitude of minds, man, it illuminates the minds. You never go in a mind and it's dark. See, so you need some light. Light to see the gold in there and know where to dig. See, that's this bhakti. It's the light. This is what Jesus said. While I'm in the world, I'm the light of the world. His truth was the light of the world. What he said was conclusive, man. Because he had this intimate relationship with God. It's always like that. See, it illuminates the scriptures. That's why you got to see. You got to hear the scriptures from an illuminated person. This purifies your consciousness, busts your ignorance, busts you out of the being encrusted by the material energy, man. You're like this gold nugget, but you're encrusted in this material energy, and the devotee comes in there and starts to pull you out. Yeah. Take away all that dirt, and then, you start to shine in that association. Always in the cavity of the heart. Let him be manifest. See, let him be manifest. Son of Mother Sachi. So I'll end here. I need to rest a little bit. Rest up, and we'll have some more juicy chanting. And somebody else can go on. Yeah. Maybe a couple of people will go on, whoever, whatever. Okay, thank you very much. I need to do prescribed duties. I have to go to the bathroom, this, that.
He would go out at sunrise, chanting, dancing to his name. Haribo, Haribo. He would wake up everyone, rise and rejoice to the name.